So we are live. Welcome, Shamir. Welcome back, Mariana, to these Work With Us sessions. This is the number 30 Work With Us, and this is the first one we host in English.
Yeah.
So let's see. And here we are with Shamir Joseph. And we would love that you introduce yourself a little bit before we start this, before we explain the dynamic we're going to do. So,
Sure. Thank you again for inviting me here. It seems like a fun thing to do, so I'm really happy to be here. Hi everyone. I'm Shamir Joseph. I am located in Mumbai, India, and I am a design thinking consultant. And I work around practicing design for certain startups and businesses that we collaborate with, but also teaching about design thinking and certain mindsets and certain tools and techniques that you can be used in design thinking. And one of the places that I do that is at IDOU as a teaching team member, and there are other various other places as well. But yeah, so that's me in a nutshell. I love creativity. I love having fun. I love creating playful moments with a purpose. So that means how to bring play to work for the purpose of whatever it is. Either it's learning something new, or it's collaboration, or it's creating something amazing, whatever it is. So yeah, you have to have fun.
great. So, okay. And Mariana, do you want to introduce yourself again after
Yes, sure. It's
such a
been a
long time?
while. It's been a while since the last time I was here. So I'm Mariana Moreira. I work as a designer in Rebel. Currently, we are working mostly around the employee experience design. But I'm really, as Shamir, I'm really passionate about design, about serious game also, and yes, and I think about experiencing, experimenting, and discovering new things and helping people to get into design and pursue their solutions for the right problems. I think so. That's
Right.
kind of me in a nutshell. Please,
Okay.
Rebecca, introduce yourself because
Hi.
probably people that are currently listening or watching
Yeah.
us, they don't know you because mostly they know Shamir, and it would be great to know more
Okay.
about you.
So
Who are
I'm
you,
Rebecca
Rebecca?
Canal. I'm the head and heart of brand here at Rebel Talent. I love creating the voice of the brands and make brands perform as human beings or markets, and they can um, listen to the customers and answer and make customer feel things. So that's what I do, what I love doing. And we're going to start by playing a little game. I'm going to ask you,
Oh,
Shamir,
nice.
if you know it. Okay, have you ever played to Never Have I Ever?
Oh yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I don't have to explain you the rules, but we are going to do it remotely. So we have to put our hands on the camera, okay, like covering with the finger with the hand. And when I tell the sentence, if you have ever done it, you have to pull up the hand, and if not, you have to keep
Okay.
it on the camera. Okay. So I have five questions for you guys and for me as well. So
Okay.
let's go with the first one.
So if
Okay.
we've done it, we have to remove, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. Okay.
That's it. So,
Great.
question number one, never have I ever multitasked on an online meeting.
Guilty.
Quite a lot.
I wouldn't
I'm
say I'm
little
doing that
bit.
now.
No.
That would be great. Okay, second one. Never have I ever lied a bit on my resume.
Just a bit, I would
Just
say.
a bit,
Yeah,
especially
maybe
at
a little bit.
the
A
beginning.
little bit. Yeah.
Okay, maybe a little bit. Right. Third one. Never have I ever wore pajamas while remote working.
That's
Classic.
a classic.
Classic.
And Shamir just looks down, like right now.
Right now. Okay. Fourth one. Never have I ever flirt with a colleague at work. Classic.
It was just in the past, like really in the past.
Yeah, really in
Okay.
the past. Not now. And the last one, okay. Never have I ever cried at work.
Mm.
Mm,
Oh,
okay.
Shamir, you are so stoic right now. Like,
No, I've cried from laughter, but I don't know. I've never
From
cried
laughter.
because we had a session where there was a person who's actually a comic. What are they called? He's a stand-up comic, and he was thinking about how to bring humor to work,
Hmm.
and how to bring it into meetings, and it was hilarious. It was just really amazing to see that. So I
And can you
remember
tell
just
us
thinking about
one
that.
thing that you remember from that session?
Wow, I remember a lot of things. So just the power of improv and how improv can be really awesome, not just for comedy, but to bring it into work. And I can just hold on. I was just reading a book. It's about improv and how do you bring it to work. It's and that's really fun because the thing about improv is that people think that it's about you're just making up in the moment, but
Hmm.
it's actually not that. It is about a practice that you are constantly doing of collaborating with people, and
It's
you
a
are
training.
accepting, whatever people are
yeah,
doing. Exactly, it's a training that's come up. And one example in the book is about the SEAL Team 6 that conducted the raid on Osama bin Laden. For them, when the helicopter came and it crashed, they had to improvise in that moment, and they were not making things up in that moment, but they were relying on their training. So
yeah.
Hmm.
just that aspect of how improv comes into our scenarios at work as well. So that
It's
was
really
really something
nice.
that was there.
So it's about like a mindset and a skill, right? You need to practice
Yeah,
Hmm.
to
exactly,
develop this
exactly.
skill, but
More
it really
practice.
changes your mindset. And it's amazing how improv really can change the way you facilitate, the way you face change, the way
Hmm.
you think about design. That's really interesting.
Exactly,
I used to
exactly.
be in an improv group, and I loved it. The energy of the group, and they call it training. It was not like rehearsing, or it was training, like if you train a
Mhm.
sport, something like that.
Yeah, that's really
Exactly.
nice.
So let's
So
improve
the
a
book
bit
is
here.
getting to yes and. The book is that
The yes
getting to
and
yes and.
yes, yes, I love the yes and. Yeah. Okay, so Mariana, can you
Hmm.
please sum it up for us? What are we going to do in the next hour?
Oh, here's the yes and yes. So we will be working with the Pomodoro methodology of work. So we will be working. I think it's like 50 minutes, right?
20 minutes.
20 minutes individually, but together. We are like together alone, as we say in design. And then we'll have a break around 7 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes.
Right.
So we can chit chat, talk a little bit about our current projects. How do we think about remote work, design, whatever we improv at this moment because there's no scripts here. And
Right.
then we will go back to another Pomodoro
Mm-hmm.
of 20 minutes. And if you are watching us now and you want to make any questions or comments or just say, hey, I am also working with you, please just write on the comments here on LinkedIn or YouTube, and we'll love to be with you.
Yes, that's it. And then in the last minutes, Shami, we're going to ask you to ask Mariana and me two questions that you would love to know about ourselves professionally or personally, and
Oh.
challenge questions, and we will answer them
Woo.
for you.
Oh. So I guess I know what I'm working on right now for the 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to play a bit of music if you like to,
Okay,
and let's work.
let's work. Woo.
What happened?
Perfect. No music.
Opening.
We actually can't hear you, Rebecca.
I'm trying to play music,
Okay.
but I don't want the music to be displayed, so I'm trying to
Oh, don't worry.
do it. Okay. So, how are you?
Already.
That
How
was
was the
20.
first
Wow.
Pomodoro? Yes, it was 20 minutes, more or less.
It went
So,
really fast, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a little less than 20 minutes. Maybe
Ah,
18 or
Ah,
something
we
like that.
caught you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So, now let's talk a bit about design thinking, Mariana.
yeah, let's talk
And
about
Shamir, of
design.
course.
Yes. So actually, as we have like this amazing guest today, I would like throw the ball to Shamir and ask you, Shamir, because like here in Rebel, we work with design thinking, with service design, and we really adopt the uh, perspective around it. Doesn't matter how do you call it; it's just matter what do you do with this. And we are working mostly with employee experience projects like training, how to develop a very personalized training for staff. We would love to even work with strategy design, but I really would like to listen from you. How do you see design thinking, and if you could share to us a little bit about how to use design thinking to promote a better working collaboration, especially now that we are working in a remote setting.
Mhm. Thank you for that question, because for me design thinking is a mindset more than a tool.
Mhm.
Because when we think of a tool, we think of, okay, for what work is this tool? A tool is very specific to an industry, right? So how I think of it is, why is it, do I call it a mindset? Is because it's a way of thinking, it's a way of approaching any problem, any challenge that you have, and then coming up with, using that process, that thinking, to come up with creative solutions and innovative ideas in that sense. So that's how I really see it, as a mindset more than a tool. And I
Mm-hmm.
think one of the greatest part of, of design is that, of design thinking, is that it leverages empathy, right? It is based on empathy, understanding who your user is, what their experience actually is. And you mentioned that you're in service design and your employee experience, so you would
Mhm.
actually think of how, what is the journey of the employees through their whole experience, and where do you want
Mm-hmm.
them to feel valued, or where do you want, what emotions do you really want them to feel as part of your company, or as part of the experience that they have,
Yeah.
and then doing that. But very often, is as designers, or as people who have done this for a long time, we tend to think that, this, oh, I have an idea what they're thinking, and we tend to jump to solutions first, because as designers, or as this thing, solutions come to a head really fast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But design thinking tells us, don't jump to solutions,
Yeah.
go back to the problems, go
Yeah.
back, empathize with them, interview, observe, do the empathy exercises that are there, and then find a problem. It tells you to spend most of your time defining a real problem, so to understand what the real problem is, and then you can come up with solutions. And for designers, I feel it tends to be easier to come up with solutions, but harder to define what the real problem is. And when you
Mm-hmm.
find the real problem, then you have a product that actually solves a real issue for people, rather than assuming that, this is the issue that we want to solve. So.
Yeah. And that's really interesting what you said, because we are currently with our first edition of our
Mhm.
design thinking for employee experience training. This is not like a publicity, okay? But
Not
if you'd
sponsor
like,
content.
please find information, please talk to us. But anyway, yesterday we had the first session, and most of the participants, their expectations, they are really around, I want to know more tools, I want to know how to deploy a project right now in my company. And we spent a whole session, 2.5 hour session, talking and building together around exercises about what is employee experience, because we really do not believe it, although we have many traditional, like we have very established definitions around employee experience. We really believe that we even should look to build our own definition using design, because that's the way that we think that we will empathize and communicate better with people. Not to talk about, oh, we want to design around the employee needs and expectations in a way that blah blah blah. People need to really feel that this will solve a real problem to them. And at the end, we talked about mindset, and we asked them to reflect what beliefs, what values, what behaviors and what would be the outputs and the outcomes if you have a designer mindset. And it was really great to see that even though most of the people, they already know something around design, and even though we are designers, it's so difficult to, it's a mindset that you need to keep training, as we talked before around impro, because
Mm-hmm.
people, they felt very perfectionist during the first exercises. They felt anxious that they could not end the exercise because we work in very short periods of time. And we were talking about this because uh, I see that sometimes it's so difficult to implement design projects and to really get the buy-in, because first we need to be able to empathize with people, but we need also to be able to somehow empathize with the business and to
Mm-hmm.
translate this to numbers and to relate with the business. But we also need to be like an example of this designer mindset, because if I am talking to the team that, oh, we will not be perfectionists, we will work in an interactive way, we will empathize, but if I do not show this with my actions when I leave the war room, you know, like the, or the Miro or whatever tool that I'm using to work with the teams, they will not believe me. And that's something that we are, at the same time, we are humans, so we need to keep working on this. And what you said, it's true. Most of the people that I know that are designers, they come with solutions so
Mm-hmm.
fast because we are like facilitating, so we need also to hold our horses, as I say, like hold our impulses. And at the end, the designer is usually a facilitator for people to design the solution for the people, for so people can answer those questions and find their problems. And it's so difficult, right?
It's very actually. And I struggle with that. I you know you said most people, but actually even I struggle with that. Like solutions come to my head, and for me, what I found is the best solution for when solutions come up to my head: stick it notes. Right, write a solution, drop it down. So a
Yeah,
Parking
brain
lots.
dump, you know. So yeah,
yeah,
exactly, a parking lot. Just dump your ideas into that parking lot, and then say we'll come back to that, you know. So that's helps me. Now what is your process? You'll have to see what works for you, but that is the great thing, you know, because then it goes away from your mind.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I feel like if it's in your mind, then it's constantly, you know, working. Even if you're trying not to work on it, it's constantly there. So just writing
totally,
it down sort of releases it to the stick it note.
totally, totally. And I don't know if you have another question, Rebecca, because I have one.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, Shamir, previously you were telling me the other day that you are working with gamification, right? Or with fun, or like
Oh,
play
playful,
around
yes,
work,
playful,
playful work.
yes, yes.
I don't know if you could tell us a little bit more, and if you're actually using design to build those sessions, it would be great too, because it's
Sure.
something really related with work culture.
Yeah. So just to set the scene, I love play, right? I love scenarios where I can enjoy what I'm doing, and we're actually getting work done as well. So it's not just fun. So that's why I say
Mm-hmm.
playful with purpose. And one of the ways that I've been practicing it as a facilitator, conducting sessions, is by designing activities, designing experiences of, you know, how to go about it and how to create that learning experience. So one example would be when you want people to learn about the different kinds of business models that are there out there, right? And there are so many. So what do you do? How do you introduce people in a quick way to the business models? So we created this game called speed dating with business models.
Oh,
Mm.
love
So you
it.
quickly just so you quickly just go through them, you see what you like, and you can come back to it later. So you get an experience of each of the business models. It opens your mind up in very different ways. So that creating playful moments like that is, I feel, really impactful, because when you play, you're not worried about what the outcome will be.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And you're not worried about, you're just collaborating, you're having fun, and then you think about what you're doing, and it's like, wow, okay, this is really amazing. Why can't we have this at work? But as a facilitator, I've been trying to see how to bring a framework where other people can as well create those moments. Because I've had people ask me, so if I were to go about it, what would be the steps? And that made me think about what the steps would be. And that's when we trying to create like a sort of a framework of things to think about when designing playful moments, and how it
Mm-hmm.
would make it easier, you know. So like, what is it you're actually playing with? What is the purpose of the play? Like, what do you actually want to learn from this? What are the emotions you want to take people's emotions? Like, say something that's a boring activity at work, like creating reports, weekly reports we have, right? How can you make it fun? So
Mm-hmm.
one example would be like, if you have one element was that, if weekly reports, what are they really? They're stories, right? In a way, they're a story of the week. So how do you make stories fun? So what are fun stories that you can think about? For me personally, a sitcom, a situational comedy, a TV show. So say your weekly report as if it is an episode on a TV show. Like that can be a fun way to have weekly reports. So it's just about taking boring moments at work and making it playful, so that people are encouraged to do it, people collaborate, and people look forward to it. In that sense, so
Mhm.
bringing play in these various different scenarios and how to give sort of a framework for people who want to bring play. That's what I'm trying to look out and trying to still figure out. And
Oh, that's nice. I would really recommend you to take a seat at the Play for Agile. And I think it's, I don't know if this will be at the end of this year, probably at the beginning of the next year. Play for Agile is usually a global conference. I don't know if you have been there, but
I have not.
probably you'll find very like-minded people. We actually like the last. I don't know if you can see that we are like promoting a Rebel experience. It's an open, not webinar event. It's like
Not worry.
an open experience anyway.
Mhm.
So actually, during the last one, we used a design to how how can I say this in English? Really like to reconstruct
Reveal.
another,
Yes.
yes, another game around that we used it for learning agility. That we have known this during the last play for agile is this Ipexu game, and it was really great to see how could we review this game, adapt and test, iterate, like prototyping. We actually went through all of the phases in a
Mm-hmm.
very natural way and in a very quick way. You know, like we didn't have to have this like internal design project. No, no, we had to, you know,
Hands
to
on to
find,
the.
yeah, to hand something around learning agility and a solution for this problem that we knew, and somehow we ended up working throughout all of the phases of design thinking, and it was really great. I'm really proud about the team
Yes.
because we are really living the design mindset and culture, so that's really nice.
And everyone enjoyed a lot the playing the game on the experience.
Yeah,
Nice.
And
yeah,
our
totally.
next experience, which will be on 23rd of this month, it will be around how to design the worst meeting you've ever attended to. So
Oh wow.
it's a contest, and we're going to participate in groups, and
Mhm.
let's see who wins the worst
I
meeting
love
ever.
this. This is sort of a play on the bad ideas brainstorm. I love
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
Something
yeah,
like that. Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
I
Okay.
think remember.
a team working.
Yeah. I
You're
think
more.
Mariana,
You're
you might
invited to
remember
come.
the. Oh, I'd love to come. I'd love to come.
Yes, come.
Enjoy.
It will be mostly in Spanish, but come and check what you can grasp
So
from
I'll,
this.
I'll I'll sign up for the Spanish classes on Duolingo to get caught up.
Rebecca,
Okay.
you guide us.
Yeah. So we have 20 minutes left for our
Okay.
second Pomodoro. I hope you engage well and you are enjoying your tasks today. And 5 minutes to 12, Shamir, you could ask us one question or two questions you love to get to know more about us or I will talent.
Before we leave for the next 20 minutes, could we just tell what are we working on right now?
Okay.
Rebecca, what
Okay,
are
so
we working
I'm
on?
I'm designing a session um, related to we're helping a team to get organized on Kanban mode. So I'm designing the session we're going to facilitate next Friday.
That's great. Shamir.
Me, I'm taking my. So I use Notion a lot
I
to
love
capture my book
Notion.
notes. So I just read it on my Kindle. I highlight it, and I've got Readwise integrated with that, so it takes all the highlights to Notion. and then I'm just have a way of getting those highlights and then giving some context to it, so that later when I want to come back to what was interesting about this book, it's there on Notion. So that's what I'm doing right now.
That's really nice. I should start to do something like this. And I am actually preparing the theoretical module for the next day of our training. So I'm just like editing stuff, and as soon as we finish this, I will start to record. Because Shamir, we do not have any theoretical content during our class. They are completely experience based, no theory.
Right.
So we do this all.
That's the best way to learn theory,
asynchronous.
through experience.
Yes.
It's slides-free experience. Okay,
So
guys,
let's do it.
Let's go for the second one. Okay, guys. We are about to finish. Okay, so how did you feel, Shamir, during this session? Have you ever tried this on your teams before?
I've tried this with a friend before, um, and it's always interesting what can be achieved in 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and moreover, what can be achieved when you know you have only this much time. That time boxing, that pressure cooker sort of scenario. So it's always interesting. But this is definitely the first one that's going live. So
Okay.
it's my first.
Great. So now, if you want to ask some questions to Mariana or to me, we are
Feel free.
here to answer.
So I have one question for the
Okay.
both of y'all.
Okay.
So one thing, when Mariana reached out and I saw the name Rebel Talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that made me think, what is so rebellious? And now you've given me an opportunity to ask. So I'm going to put you on the spot here, both of y'all. What is the most rebellious thing that you've done, be it work or life, whichever it is? Something interesting, something to share about, and how did it go? Something rebellious that you've tried or you've thought of or done.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Well, if you do, you have your rebellion thing, Rebecca?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, start you, and then I go.
Okay. So the most rebellious thing I've done related to my professional life was to quit a job I loved. I loved it, but I didn't get along with my manager that much, and I didn't feel that I was that I fitted there. So suddenly one day I decided to quit. Like, and it was a company I really loved, and I enjoyed being there. But my heart told me like just quit because this is not working.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Well, my
Is that
story is
what
a
drew
little.
you to employee experience? I'm just curious.
Sorry.
Is that what drew you towards employee experience and designing that at Rebel?
Yeah, it drew me to kind of making work environments more psychological safer.
Nice. So we
Yeah.
have your origin story here. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and my story is quite similar to Rebe. I actually quit my last, like my previous job. It was a very stable job. So I was directing and people and organization development department. Um, but I was actually not like fulfilled, and I quit in, I think it was in July, August last year, like with the pandemic and everything.
In the middle of
Uh,
the
to
Wow.
join
tornado.
Rebel
Yeah.
Talent, a small consultancy. I mean, small in the number of people. At that moment, we were only 3, 4 people in the team, and now we are 8, 9. Yeah, I think it
And
was quite
growing.
rebellious because I had like no warranties around what would work or not, and I had a very stable job, and I enjoyed, but I was not completely happy, and I must say that now I'm much more fulfilled. I think that's it.
That's
And
it.
you?
And you? Yeah, that's it. And you, Shami?
That's how we need to finish this.
well, well, I already kind of shared it with the speed dating with business models. I wasn't sure how that would be, but I just said, let's go for it. Why not? At the most, what's going to happen? Says no. I think. Oh, okay. So a recent thing I think would be uh, just last month we were presenting at a design thinking conference in Germany. So a friend of mine who I work with, a colleague in Germany, Bernie, his name is. He reached out to me. He said, "Do you want to present at this conference?" And I saw the people who were presenting, right, heads of all organizations. I was like, I don't think we're going to get selected, but I said, let's just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? At the most, they're going to say no. It's like, okay, but then we got in somehow, and initially we were supposed to be backup speakers. So I was like, okay, yes, we're backup speakers. That's good. We get to attend the event, and then all of a sudden they said you're speaking and you're second on the list to speak for that day, and we're like, oh my god, we actually got to prepare something right now. But it was so much fun doing it. It was a great experience. So yeah, that
And
was
That's
did you
just
great.
improve? Did you make improvisation or not? or did you prepare it?
No, we prepared. There was
Okay.
some improv questions. I can send you the link to the event. Actually, it's on my link tree. So I think it's
Okay.
the second
Great.
link that's there. So it's the event. So
We're going to check it. Wow.
you never
Okay,
know what will
so-
happen. That's the things.
That's great.
I love your mindset, guys, and I'm still trying to, to open my mind. Every day is a single new day to open it a little bit more, and that's what design thinking is like. Changing everything here.
Yeah,
So-
totally.
Thank you very much for this hour, Shamir and Mariana,
Thank you.
and I hope the rest of your day is great. And I hope to see you around, Rebel Talent.
Yeah.
Muchas
you.
gracias and buenas tardes. I hope I said that correctly.
Yeah,
Right.
that was perfect. Muchas gracias. Y buenas
Gracias,
tardes o buenas noches for you.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's muchas for me. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.